Hi, I'm Rob Van Rapports. Welcome to MBANow. We're at CREF 18. I have with me Erin Stafford at DBRS. Erin, thanks for being here.
Happy to be here.
Great. So you spoke yesterday at a standing room only panel session about commercial mortgage-backed securities. Tell us a little bit about what you talked about.
So yesterday's panel was capital markets, and we were really pleased to have a standing room only crowd considering it was an 8 o'clock start time. But we talked about the future of the commercial mortgage-backed securities industry, where it's been, where it's going. And I think one of the things that we focused on really was the borrower experience. On the panel we had a servicer, we had an agency person, we had a non-bank lender, and then we had a bank lender, in addition to myself as a rating agency. And what we talked about was, recognizing that the experience that the borrowers have had through the commercial mortgage-backed securities, through their experience with their loans, has not always been the best. Reasons for that obviously include the fact that we're constrained by regulation and REMIC rules, and so there's going to be always a push-pull of what they can and cannot do.
Right.
But there are things that collectively us as a group can all do to make the borrower experience better. And so we talked a lot about the initiatives that the various parties are taking in order to make the borrower experience better. Now, is that going to be a landmine shift to tomorrow to all of a sudden borrowers are happy? Probably not, right? We're still the lender in the space, and we really need the borrower cooperation in that interaction. But little things that we can do better to make sure that we're responsive to their needs and their questions.
What do you think the biggest risk factor is today that's impacting commercial real estate finance?
So absent the big black swan event, which none of us can predict, we're all trying to talk about what the big disruptors are. I think today's challenge is really going to be the rising interest rate environment. For the last how many ever years, we've been in pretty much interest rates have either remained low or have been declining, and so now we've actually got interest rates that are rising. And so really how is that property manager, how is that sponsor prepared for their exit strategy if rates do rise? And what are they doing to combat that, either on growing their net cash flow at their property or looking at different financing opportunities that are out there?
Let's talk a little bit about advocacy. Why do you think advocacy is important to the future of the commercial real estate finance market?
Specifically, I think advocacy is important really for education. I don't expect as a voter that my politicians and representation in Congress and have the intricacies and expertise in commercial real estate. And so when there are things that are proposed that may impact our market, it's really important for the MBA and the advocacy to really get in there and educate them on how things can impact us and what would be beneficial. And I know the MBA has taken a very good role in that in terms of educating not only for the advocacy for the commercial real estate industry, but also just in terms of not cherry picking things that are only beneficial, but really educating so that there could be things that are trade-offs should regulation come into play. So really, in terms of education, I think is important.
That's great. Well, we really appreciate you stopping by and talking a little bit about what you do and your thoughts on the whole industry.
Great. Thank you.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at MBA Mortgage and like Mortgage Bankers Association on Facebook and Instagram.